Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Before we get into it, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because we cover the hottest stories in K-pop and global music every single week. And if you already know what time it is, drop a like on this video and let's get into it, because today we are talking about one man who is absolutely everywhere right now, Jungkook. Stay until the very end, because we saved the most jaw-dropping fact about him for last. You are not going to want to miss it. Let's start with a question. What does it take to be called the king of K-pop? Is it chart records? Global awards? Luxury brand deals? Or is it something that can't even be measured, a kind of magnetic pull that makes the entire world stop and pay attention every single time you move? Because if we're being honest, Jungkook doesn't just check one of those boxes. He checks all of them. And in 2026, he is doing it at a level that nobody, and we mean nobody in K-pop history, has ever reached before. Here is something that will hit you hard right from the start. On March 30, 2026, the South Korean Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, together with the Korean Foundation for International Cultural Exchange, also known as KOFIS, released the 2026 Overseas Hallyu Survey. This is one of the most credible and comprehensive studies of Korean cultural influence in the world. It surveyed 27,400 people across 30 countries. And the results? Jungkook, as an individual solo artist, ranked as the third most influential Hallyu figure globally, the only K-pop solo male idol to appear in the top 5, with his influence confirmed across all 5 major surveyed regions on Earth. Every continent. Every corner of the globe. That is not a fan vote. That is a government-backed study. Let that sink in. And here is where it gets even more fascinating. BTS as a group ranked first overall in that same survey with 6.9%, the most influential Hallyu act on the planet. The fact that Jungkook is breaking through separately as an individual, while still being part of the #1 group in the world, tells you everything about what kind of artist he is. He is not simply riding on the wave of BTS. He has built his own ocean. But let's rewind a little, because to understand why Jungkook is dominating right now in 2026, you need to understand what he built during the time the world thought he was quiet. In December 2023, Jungkook enlisted in the South Korean military, mandatory service that every Korean male must complete. Most people assumed the world would move on. The charts would shift. A new star would rise. That is not what happened. While Jungkook was serving his country, his debut solo album Golden, released on November 3, 2023, was still shattering records week after week. The album debuted at number 2 on the US Billboard 200 with 210,200 equivalent album units in its very first week, making him the first South Korean solo artist to sell over 200,000 copies in a single week in America. Golden entered music charts in 25 countries, topped the charts in South Korea, Belgium, France, Lithuania, and Japan, and reached the top 10 in 14 countries including Australia, Germany, and the UK, where it debuted at number 3, becoming the highest charting album ever by a Korean solo artist in the United Kingdom. By the end of 2024, Golden had sold over 2.7 million copies worldwide. It ranked as the #1 K-pop solo album in US sales for 2 consecutive years, 2023 and 2024. Making history from a military base. That is Jungkook. Now, let's talk about 7. In July 2023, Jungkook dropped his pre-release single, 7, featuring Lato, and it immediately made him the first Korean solo artist in history to debut simultaneously at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, the Global 200, and the Global XL, US chart, all 3 major Billboard global charts at the same time. Not just a K-pop record. A world record. 7 went on to become the fastest song in history to surpass 1 billion streams on Spotify. Then came 3D, featuring Jack Harlow, which debuted at number 5 on the US Hot 100 and number 5 on the UK Singles Chart, making him the first South Korean solo artist to achieve 2 consecutive top 5 entries on the UK chart. Then, Too Much, with the Kid Laroi and Central C debuted at number 10 in the UK, making Jungkook the first Korean solo artist to score 3 separate top 10 singles in UK chart history. 3 different songs. 3 top 10 UK hits. 1 Korean artist. Historic. And as of September 2024, he also became the first South Korean soloist to surpass 7 billion total streams on Spotify across all credited works. At the 2024 Billboard Music Awards, even while still fulfilling his military service and unable to attend in person, Jungkook won Top K-pop Album for Golden and Top Global K-pop Song for Standing Next to You. That gave him 3 total Billboard Music Award wins, more than any K-pop solo artist in the history of that awards show. And his documentary film, I Am Still, which chronicles his journey as a solo artist, became the 3rd highest grossing concert film by a solo artist globally, sitting behind only Taylor Swift's Eras Tour and Justin Bieber's Never Say Never. That is the company he is keeping. And that is who he is competing with, not just in K-pop, but in global pop music. Now here is where things in 2026 have gone completely next level, and this is the part you need to pay close attention to. Jungkook was discharged from military service in mid-2025, and within months, the world's biggest luxury brands were lining up. In December 2025, Chanel officially named him the global ambassador for Chanel fragrances and beauty, one of the most coveted ambassador roles in the entire fashion and beauty industry. Then in February 2026, specifically on February 12th, Swiss luxury watchmaker Hublot announced Jungkook as its newest global brand ambassador, placing him alongside names like Kylian Mbappé, Novak Djokovic, and Usain Bolt. Hublot CEO Julian Tournard described Jungkook as, in his own words, one of the most influential artists of his generation. He is also a continuing ambassador for Calvin Klein, a brand he has represented across multiple major campaigns. 3 of the world's most iconic luxury and fashion brands, simultaneously. That is not just a K-pop achievement. That is a global cultural statement. And then came the BTS comeback that the entire world had been waiting for. On March 20, 2026, after all 7 members completed their mandatory military service, BTS released Arirang, their 5th full-length studio album and their first group album since the 2022 anthology Proof. The album sold millions of copies within days of release. On March 21st, BTS performed at Gwanghwamun Square in Seoul, one of the most historically and culturally significant locations in all of South Korea, with 50 dancers opening the stage before parting to reveal all 7 members in outfits inspired by early Joseon-era generals, designed by Korean brand Songzeo. The performance was streamed live globally on Netflix under the title BTS The Comeback Live, Arirang. On March 27, Netflix released the documentary BTS, The Return, filmed by Vietnamese-American director Bao Nguyen, which followed the group's 2-month recording camp in Los Angeles through post-production in Korea. And on April 9, 2026, BTS kicked off their global world tour starting in Goyang, South Korea, a tour spanning 34 cities and more than 80 dates. Industry estimates project the tour could gross as much as $1.87 billion, which would place it among the highest-grossing concert tours in music history. So where does Jungkook stand in all of this? He is simultaneously the youngest member of the world's biggest K-pop group, a chart-breaking solo artist with a catalog of Billboard #1 records, an ambassador for 3 of the world's most prestigious global brands, a top 3 individual Hallyu figure in a government survey covering 30 countries, and someone who, at just 28 years old in 2026, is widely described by industry professionals as a generational talent. He was ranked first on Billboard's inaugural K-pop Artist 100 list in America. He was included in Gold House's A100 list, recognizing the 100 most impactful Asian Pacific leaders in American culture and society. He is the first Korean solo artist to have multiple songs each surpass 1 billion streams on Spotify. He performed the official song at the opening ceremony of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, becoming the first Korean artist in history to sing an official World Cup theme. His footprint is not just in music. It is in luxury fashion, beauty, sports culture, national diplomacy, and global identity. What makes Jungkook's story truly extraordinary, and this is the part we promised to save for the end, is that every single major achievement in his solo career happened against extraordinary odds. He debuted his solo album less than 1 month before entering the military. He won Billboard Music Awards while in uniform. He crossed 1 billion streams on Spotify from a military base. He built one of the most powerful personal brands in the world without a single solo concert tour. And now, with BTS fully reunited, with Arirang topping charts, with a world tour underway, and with the 2026 Hallyu survey officially confirming his global dominance across 5 continents, Jungkook is just getting started. The music industry has seen icons before. It has seen boy bands rise and fall. It has seen solo stars burn bright and fade. What it has never seen before is someone like Jungkook, a 28-year-old from Busan, South Korea, who turned the world into his stage 1 record at a time, and who, in 2026, is not slowing down for a single second. So, king of K-pop? The data says yes. The charts say yes. The surveys say yes. The luxury houses say yes. And honestly, you already knew the answer before you clicked on this video. If you made it to the end of this video, you are officially an honorary member of the most dedicated fan base in music history, the ARMY. Now do us a favor, smash that like button, leave a comment below telling us your favorite Jungkook era. Is it 7, Golden, or the BTS Arirang comeback? And subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. We drop new content every week covering the biggest stories in global music. Share this video with a fellow ARMY, because this story deserves to be heard. We'll see you in the next one. Annyeong.